don't quit on us because we're back again with another episode of Below Deck Med. Yes, we got our double gin and tonics because apparently that's a thing, and we're ready. We're both in black for Natalie's funeral? Question mark? No
Natalia.
idea. Natalia. Oh my god.
You're like, she's
Okay.
going, what's her name?
Yeah, let's talk about her bed instead. Anyway, but I am your captain, Sasha Joseph, joined with our chief entertainment officer, Chappell, here to talk you through all of this headache filled but hilarious episode. How are you? How is it? How are you feeling?
Sasha, I woke up this morning. My Eiffel Tower was standing up tall. I was ready to
So you're
talk
having
about
a
this.
good day.
I'm
Okay,
having
yeah.
a good day. You feel like you could take on the world, you know? It's
Yes.
this episode, this is my kind of mess. Let's do it. Let's talk. This is what I've been waiting on all season. Just a mess that is
Yes.
no one is getting assaulted. No one is, it this feels like good old-fashioned reality TV drama. He said, she said, arguments. Nobody's
Mhm.
job is in jeopardy unless they want it to be, unless they definitely want to quit, or unless they get in trouble with the captain later on. Who knows? But yeah, very much something that I could sink my teeth into. I'm very excited to talk to you about it.
Me too. And listen, before we get any further, y'all know what's coming. We are actually at 185, I believe, reviews, if my
Ooh.
math is correct. So we're moving. We're moving. We're getting close to that 250, y'all. I feel like we gotta get to 250 before the season is done if we need to be renewed for another below deck. So help us out, get us at 250. And if you're listening to us, we do go live on YouTube at 3 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. And if you're watching us and you're like, I would listen to you instead, why? I don't know, because look at us. But if you want to, we are on Bravo TV RHAPups. That is our feed. That's our dedicated feed wherever you get your podcast. So listen, help us out. Get us at 250. We're so close. Let Rob know. All right. And
Yes.
everyone's
And
here also in the chat.
yes, the
Go
chat.
ahead.
We got a few first timers here. Big T563. We see you out there. We see some of our faves. Lolly, Asante's out here as well. Look, it's a party. This is a good episode, y'all. We're gonna have a great time here. Um,
Hmm.
Sasha, I'm so excited. Like this, 'tis the season. Here in the States, Thanksgiving is upon us, and I'm thankful for this
Yes.
episode, if nothing else.
Yeah, I know. Asante says, and Asante is always commenting on our videos too. So shout out to you. But it talks about how this episode was so messy and what I've been waiting for. Agreed. I think that's what I tweeted, that I think this is the best episode of Below Deck Med I have seen in a long time. And listen, do I have a fish's memory? Sure. I don't care. Like, it don't matter. The point is, this was an amazing episode, and I can't wait to just whew. But I think we have to start at the start. Okay, Chappelle, you can't control me. I don't have the feathers for you. All right, you've been a fake bitch since I met you.
Since
What
day
is going
one.
on?
Oh my god. It's like there are two people who have been getting on your nerves and now they're at each other's throats. And so you kind of don't you want to take sides, but at the same time, you don't really because you're like, well, at least it's not me, and at least it's them. I felt so awkward watching this because, of course, Kyle's plastered. Like he's super drunk. So he's, beside himself, angry, saying all the things that he might be thinking, or just trying to hurt Nat's feelings. And she is soberer. So I won't say completely sober, but because she had been partying as well, but more sober than
Hmm.
him. And she
Yes.
also says some pretty mean things, but I don't think either of these two are lying at any point. And so watching everybody kind of sit out of it and watch the drama unfold, they are us. We just kind of grab your popcorn and watch it all happen.
No, I 1000% feel that if I was in a boat and single, I would be Jess, right? Like just laid up with a man watching the mess happen. That is so me because I couldn't believe what was going on. And Morgan, like, I can't breathe because Morgan said, You will
No,
never control me.
never.
His accent was killing me. And
Yes.
Big T does ask, were Nat and Kyle like this last season? Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. See, and I haven't seen last season, but I've seen the clips that they keep showing in this episode. I've seen some online stuff because the peanut gallery, y'all tag me in the good stuff on Twitter sometimes. So I'm able to do my little research here and there. But I am going to have to go and get into some of the other mess because if it's like this, it's some decent TV. But yeah, you'll never control me. Never.
And here's the thing. Anna says the amount of times I've used "you'll never control me," Natalia, this
Never.
week has been a problem. Listen, I pray that this takes over that stupid mafia thing.
Yeah.
How do we do that, Jack? We gotta do it.
You mean to tell me this podcast has changed for the better now that Sasha and I have moved away from the mafia, you know?
We have joined the Tuminators.
Oh my god. Yeah, look, the Terminators, is that an official stan group?
No,
Because I
I
think
think
we
that is
deserve
her bragging to me. But how about we
right.
reclaim it?
We're gonna I thought so. I was like, we could get our own like Terminator stand cards, stand club, some Pero, we get our Terminator shirts on. I'm
Us in
just
New
saying.
Orleans, just Tuminators. Everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" And we're like, "You will never
You
control
will
me,
never
RHAP."
control me. That's what your next bracelet needs to say. You will never control me.
And I got it right here. Oh my god. And it's so funny. And Pambella is correct. That says they were also overwhelmed by the chief stew and the chef drama, that it wasn't as spotlighted. I think that's correct. But we definitely knew that there was a lot of drama between them because Kyle would drag her in front of the guests all the time. Like, this is not new at all. That's why I think it's just it was about time. Like, the Coke bottle had been shaken for 2 seasons
Mhm.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and and Kyle says that too. He like eventually he even admits, like I got out of control, but it's because there's so much other feelings that have been bottled up for so long that when he finally unleashed, it wasn't just Nat, stay out of this conversation because I'm talking to Max and it has nothing to do with you. It was Nat, you're the worst. You're the worst human ever. You're a monster. You stir up all this stuff. You're always inserting yourself into people's lives. And look, continue,
Right?
and
Like, I was just like, well, and not only that, when he said, "You don't control me. You don't control my speech." How do I just, like, write all of it down so that I have it for every time someone pisses me off?
yeah, you
Like,
know,
it's crazy. "You don't direct my speech, bitch." What
whoa, yeah,
is happening? Oh, so good. And then, Chappelle, you bring it up, and yeah, I think so. I've seen a lot of like, Toomey's the bad manager, blah 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 on Twitter. Stop it, everyone. But Morgan brings up this point, and I'd love to hear what you think. That Toomey was good to separate them because yes, that does end up happening, right? Toomey says, "Hey, you go in your corner, you toddler, and toddler number 2, you go into this corner." Great, nice. But then, Toomey was good to separate them, but think that she still enjoyed not getting yelled at. That is succinctly what I believe happened.
yeah, that's fair. I don't have any issue with that either because if you think about
Yep.
it from Toomey's perspective, from a supervisor position, they're not on the clock. They actually had the day off, so they're really off work.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, she has to keep the peace for work purposes, but they're adults. They should be able to handle this drama amongst themselves without Toomey having to interject. Also, Kyle is a man, and in the same way that Natalia is probably aware that Kyle is a man, and so there's a power
Mhm.
dynamic difference there. He's bigger than her,
And
so you want to make
height.
sure.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. So you want to make sure you don't do anything that will like trigger any type of violent reaction because we don't want that. And for her own safety, like she's probably very aware that this is a big guy, and
Mhm.
then on top of all of that, Natalia's made it very clear that they're not friends. Remember, I don't ever want to be your friend. I don't want to know you like that. We can just work and go on about our way. Okay, well, if you were my friend, maybe I would speak up for you, but because you're not, have at it, and then when it's time to go to bed, make sure y'all go to your own separate spots. You know, what did you want her to do?
And here's the thing, because folks were like, manager, one on one, 101, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing, you were a manager, but you're still a human being, right? And
Mhm.
at the end of the day, if someone you're supervising literally comes up to you and has undermined you and whatever, cause drama. And I'm not saying it is just Nat's fault, right? Like, let's be very clear. I'm just saying
Mhm.
Nat, it has been the source of a lot of frustration. So has Kyle, of course. I'm not like, I'm just talking about Nat and Toomey right now. And as a manager, you were going to have your feelings in. Like, that's not how life works, that you can just be a robot and be like, my feelings are here and this is like my job. No, this person has been coming at me from jump. So I would like her to get some of her licks in. You know what? Get her again, Kyle, and then I'll take her
Get it for
away.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right though, 'cause there's probably a bunch of stuff that Toomey would love to say to Natalia that she can't say. So she's in this moment thinking, "Well, yeah, I'll stop him when he starts lying." You do insert yourself into
Mhm.
other people's into other situation, and we get the flashbacks of Jessica's situation several times. Poor Jessica, she's just dragged into all this stuff. She like Nene Leaks. Like, how did I get in it? I ain't even
Yeah,
did
why am
nothing.
I in it? Yeah,
Right.
100%.
Yeah, so I don't blame Toomey for waiting a little bit. Again, it's not her job to police people's personal interactions with each other that are outside of work. But even if you say that it is her job because they're always a reflection of the boat, then of course she has had her interactions as well. She probably don't want to
Mhm.
get yelled at by Natalia either. Because what if Toomey does jump in and takes Kyle's side and says, "Well, Nat, he really wasn't talking to you. Let's try to calm him down." Then boom, it's not. You've always hated me, Toomey, since the moment we sat on the boat. You don't like me, and da 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 da. She's made a lot of these situations very personal in the past. I would be kind of, hesitant to jump into something like that too. So I can't blame her. I'm sorry.
Mhm. And oh my god, the chat is like jumping forward. So I'm making sure I'm starring all your comments for it to come back to, because yes, there's agreed with a lot of you, but I'm gonna hold on to that thought. And also Matt says this, right? That I feel that Kyle understands the assignment is to bring and make good TV. Natalia, on the other hand, I feel like does it by accident. That's so funny to me. I think that a lot of folks have main character energy, right?
Mm,
And the problem is that Nat does a good job. She's been a good chief stew. And then I think in her mind things should be done X, Y, and Z. And then after all of that, Toomey comes in and Toomey's doing this and Toomey's doing that. So I and yeah, and 1063 in the chat also says Toomey's been on guard of Nat from the get-go because of Kyle. Kyle is definitely the problem. I'm not, yeah, I hope we're not coming off as we're defending Kyle, because we're not. It's just they're both pissing me the hell off and I'm tired of it.
yeah,
That's how
that's
I
what it comes down
feel.
to. Yeah, I
Mhm.
agree. I agree. They're
Yeah.
both like again, these are two people who have been very annoying throughout the season. So when they have to go at each other after they've been Kyle's been going at Jessica, not Nat's been going at Toomey.
Mhm.
Okay, well, go at each other. Y'all both want to be the
Yep.
big dogs on campus. Fight it out. See who the biggest dog in the yard is. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. And don't drag me in it. That's what I sometimes as a manager, the best thing you can do is like let them yell it out, because you trying to squelch it is gonna come on you, especially with people like this that are very loud. And Anna says in the chat, right, that are Nat, Kyle and Nat are too similar to be on the same boat. Yeah, and I think that's why a manager situation sometimes is like it's that you just have to let it be, or they're gonna start yelling at Toomey. I would pay you money that they would yell at Toomey if she would have jumped in.
Yeah, 100%. There's no way that Nat doesn't make this Toomey's fault, and Kyle is still going to make it Nat's fault, but he might back off a little bit, and then later on go to Nat and be like, "Yep, look at Toomey doing the things again." He's very good at
Mhm.
putting himself in situations that allow him to stir the pot. And so
Yep.
yeah, there's a non-zero chance that this falls back on Toomey. This somehow this fight ends up falling on Jessica, who says nothing. So if it could land on her, imagine what it would have done with Toomey speaking up.
No, everyone is gonna get their licks at this point. Like everyone's getting swiped, I feel. So watch out, everyone. Please. We might be getting yelled at. I don't know.
Oh
Maybe
yeah,
Nat
we're getting it.
finds this podcast and drags us, which will only
She
help us.
might.
But anyway,
Right. If she drags us, make
it's
sure
fine.
she at Bravo RHAPup's feed, at
That
Chappelle's
part.
underscore show on Twitter. Tag me, I'll retweet it.
Yes, at fun size, because everyone knows I'm ready to fight on Twitter. Unfortunately, I'm jobless in that way. And Lolly, I'm crying because Lolly says in the chat, thank goodness they don't look alike too. because that happened last season. And that is why I will always get their names confused because we had two stews that looked the same and had similar names. All right, everyone. Anyway, so all of this to say, we have now somehow separated the two. And Nat is a bat out of hell because she says, she's like, no point in arguing with Satan. So I got to get out of here, yelling on the way out. And now I have to ask you, how do we feel about Laura? Okay, because Laura has now made her way to the master, and Laura has said, "Hey, as someone that is part of the queer community, uh, and all of this, like I do see what Kyle was trying to do, but also Nat like shouldn't have inserted herself, but then it went too far." And I'm just
Yeah.
like, please,
But see,
please.
Laura and Nat are friends. We've seen Laura take Nat's side in the Toomey argument, even, where she's gone and had her back before. So I wasn't shocked to see her in the master
Mhm.
bedroom. But yeah, it's like not nobody was talking to you. And that's just what it comes down to. That's the thing that triggered Kyle the most. It was like he was trying to have a conversation with Max. He was out of control, but Nat, it's not your job to police the way Kyle talks. Now, you can if that's your friend, your real friend, and they are not belligerently drunk, then you could probably have that conversation with them. But if y'all beefing low key and been talking noise about each other behind each other's backs or been feeling the type of way, then those feelings are gonna come out. And I think that's really what happened. Like if they were two people who are on the same page. When Natalia comes to Kyle, he knows it's sincere, and he says, "Okay, that's a sincere suggestion. Let me back down."
Mhm.
But because it comes off like, "Oh, here's Natalia doing more drama." Remember, Kyle was so devastated by the amount of drama from that Natalia last episode that he passed out. Did we forget? He was just like, "Oh, I don't want to be in this anymore. Natalia's mess and all this other stuff." Look, it happened. So I think he had already kind of feeling some way, and a few people in the chat had brought up the, a drunk mind speaks sober thoughts or
Yes.
something like that. Personally, I don't agree with that. I think that you're gonna say whatever you're gonna say to get whatever point you want to accomplish, regardless. But I
Yeah,
do
to
think
me,
that
an
there's
angry mind is,
angry mind,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
That the drunkenness enhances the anger, and then the anger is what talks about them sober thoughts. I was like, because you can say anything at any time to make somebody mad, especially if you want to get a reaction out of them. But I think for Kyle, there might have been something that he was holding on to deep down, and then he finally was mad enough to be like, you know what, I'm sick of you too. And so it happened. Yeah, it happened. Look, again, it happened. What do you want me to do? I don't. I'm really struggling with this one, y'all, because they was off the clock. That's really where it come down to for me. If this was on the work, during the charter, because I think it was Cat Spur in the chat. Thank you for the comment.
Mhm.
Says you guys were riding Captain Sandy hard for letting Toomey and Nat settle things between themselves. That's because it was on the boat during work. I'm like,
Yes.
Sandy, this woman is like trying to do her job. This woman's trying to do her job. They're clashing. This is a work situation. This Kyle and Nat drama, it's not work related. It's not. They getting in an argument because they both drunk about something that Max said, and here we are. And they are off work today, even. So it's like for me, ding ding, ring the bell, let them fight. Deal with it when you
And
get that.
what's crazy, I think, to me is that all of this happened because later on, Kyle is walking around the boat and he chats to Max, and and Max said, "Oh, I just don't know what the word ally means, but I see what now you're saying."
Yeah.
So you're telling me this was lost in translation, and that
Well,
was it?
that's what Max is basically saying, but I don't know if I believe him. Like, I think that Max is trying to smooth the situation over and being like, "Oh
Oh,
no,
I
I
see. Okay.
totally get it, Kyle. I misunderstood, blah blah." Because I'm thinking it didn't sound like that was the argument that they were having. If like
Mhm.
it sounded like Kyle was very clearly saying like, "No, you can be an ally, but you cannot be a part of the community, and those are
Yeah.
separate things." And now Matt's like, and Max in the moment is like, "No, but we are all a part of it." It's like, "No, no, you don't get to do that. We all are." Anything. And I think that's where the divide was. But I think, and this is a not a stereotype, but yeah, definitely like a trope of like guy falling outs, right? Where it's like the theory is
Mhm.
that men can just argue and fight and then get back together and be like, oh, it's all good. It really did kind of give that energy of just like, no, we're good now. Let's be mad at the women. It's like, damn, Kyle. You
Oh
gotta
my
keep that same
god.
energy from Max, man. That's all I'm saying. But they squashed it because who knew? There's no French word for allies.
Yeah. And I also want to say, like, Chappelle and I are not part of the queer community. So, like, that's why we're
Yeah,
not trying to like sit here and say too much about that piece, because it's not our place.
yeah.
As folks that like understand DEI work, sure, we can talk about it, but it's just at the end of the day, that's not our identity, right? And I really like what Anna said, that if Natalia wouldn't have jumped in with the problematic bisexuality comments, Kyle and Max could have figured out the misunderstanding sooner. I think that Kyle just wanted to fight. So
He yeah,
no.
he wanted to be
I think
correct.
that's normal people, Anna. Yeah,
Yeah,
correct, Chappelle.
he
Yeah.
wanted to be right. I think this is what it was. He was like, "I need Max to say you're right, I'm wrong." And Max is like, "No, what are you talking about? I'm not wrong." Da, 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 da. And and yeah, I think that Max is somebody who probably would have valued that conversation on a deeper level. You know, like let's just talk about it, let's talk it through. But Kyle was very much like, "Oh no, it's a black and white situation. This is us, this is you, and you are not a part of this." And Natalia does kind of try to come in and play both sides and be like, "Well, you know, like." No, but also he kind of bi, so you know he in there too. It's like that's not the same, and you know it. And for Kyle, he wanted everybody to be like, "No, Kyle is correct," you know. And so, there, like you said,
Yes.
he just wanted to keep yelling until people heard him. And then when somebody obstructed that, they became the new target of his comments, you know. And so it was never really even about Max.
Yeah, which I think leads us later on, right? When Luca is mega quiet about not backing up anyone, because he's like, I don't want to be in it. I'm not trying to get yelled at. So this is only night, like the night of it all. Because then Toomey also goes in to check in on Natalie, and I'm screaming because she said, we don't have to be friends or like each other, but I'm just here to check on you. I could not stop breathing. Like, it's not, she's so mean.
Yeah, but I mean, she does go check on it. That's what I'm saying. Like, Toomey is doing more than I probably
Yeah.
would have done. You know, it's kind of like I'm like,
Agreed. I'm a vindictive person. I would never.
well, I'm just more like a, all right, well, I tried, you know, when I tried to make build a bridge here, now you're on your own. I would not have helped the situation. I'm not gonna lie to you. To me is doing better than
Yeah.
me for even going and reaching out to Nat because for Toomey and Nat to have had so much beef, it does take a big person to kind of okay put that aside to just go and see if check on this person's well being, their mental health, all that stuff.
Mhm.
However, you see the opposite of that in some of the people like Luca and Jessica who try to stay completely out of it, and by doing that, you know, Natalia leaves with a bad taste in her mouth about them. So it's like, yeah, if you can put your feelings to the side to be the bigger person and go and extend a helping hand, because it does take a lot of energy to be kind sometimes, especially when someone hasn't always been kind to you. But if you can do that, then you do come off looking a lot better because you know we know there's no love lost between Toomey and Nat, but she presented a listening ear and somebody who actually was concerned about her being in a big fight. I mean, the stuff that Kyle was saying, they were horrible things, you know, like we're laughing about, but he was being awful to her. It's just like, you know, Toomey's a good person for going out and reaching out because I probably would have been closer to like the Luca and Jessica of just like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm not in this. It's not my business. Have fun.
Mhm.
And then still be laughing about it behind the scenes.
Yeah. And yeah. Lolly says, and we learn later that Nat just wants to be checked on. Jeez. Yeah. We gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Woo, because I have many feelings. So that is all to say we are now finished. All right, we've ended the night. Um we do have
Have we? Yeah.
Luca and Jess. That's what I was gonna say. We've ended that part of the night. Let me be clear, sorry. And then she starts talking about I've dated a Scorpio for 2 years. So like he just wants to cuddle. It's true. Scorpios, boy howdy, when they're in their villain era, you don't want to be around them. That's all I'll say. And of course, they're like trying to cuddle, and then Luca and Jess are in Toomey and Jess's cabin. I was like, what is the reason? It's
Yeah.
so messy.
I like that Toomey does not care that they're in the cabin because she's going to sleep regardless.
Queen.
She's like, "I'm coming in here, and if y'all got to go, y'all got to go, but I am not." It's like Toomey's not cock blocking, but she's not guiding either. She's like, "I'm about to go to sleep, so wrap it up. It's time. Time for y'all to go. Y'all have whatever time y'all had while I was out there doing things. I'm back in the room now. This is my space. Go ahead and go. We're not entitled to get out of the way for people to hook up, you know?"
Yeah. I just feel like there needs to be some unspoken rule though of like
Yeah,
if you're
go
being
to a
gross.
vacant room. The master bedroom, can they not go in there? I mean, I guess this night Natalia was in there, but that's just the L y'all have to
There's
take.
2 other rooms. It's
Yeah.
fine. And my mom does enjoy Below Deck as well. So she was watching with me, and her, yeah, again, biggest concern was why can't they just switch beds for the night? Like,
Mhm.
as in, why can't Max maybe stay in Jess's bed if we're going, by rank? And then I was like, no, mom, because the bosun and, power differentials, it gets
Mhm.
messy, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, my mom was very frustrated. I'll say that. And it's fine. And Luca does go back to Max, and Max is like, "What happened with you and Nat? I'm confusion." And he said, "Too much drama, too much baggage." And Max is like, "Yeah, makes sense." Because Penny, and I think this is like further punctuated by what Penny is saying, right? In the chat saying, I was thinking Max was just wanting to coexist and support. He does not like anything like
Mhm.
when it comes to drama. I don't think he can deal with it.
Yeah, Max is in the whole like, you know what? I think that we all need to support each other, but also I'm not getting in this. And then Luca is doing the same thing. But I think for Luca, there's another added layer to this. Him and Natalia had their thing for a little bit, and then what was it in the last
Mhm.
2 episodes? He's like, "What's up, Natalia?" And she's like, "I'm too busy on the phone with my boyfriend in my open relationship. Gotta go. Bye." And then when he starts pulling back, she's like, "Why is he acting strange? I don't understand." It's like, "Well, because you had him thinking that y'all was about to hook up or that y'all had some chemistry, y'all had some flirting going, y'all sending each other selfies." I saw all that, and now all of a sudden you're like, "Oh well, my relationship is back to get like we're good now, so I don't need you anymore. Get away from me." And so now that he
Horrible.
pulled back all the way, she's like, "Why aren't you being my friend?" It's like, "Well, you know, this is the game you playing. You got that man feelings involved, and then when he backed up, now you want him to be up under you again, even if it is just in an emotional, supportive way. He's not willing to do that because there is so much drama that surrounds Natalia. She's been in at least 3 fights already on this show, and it's
Mhm.
episode 9. So I don't blame him, but I know she wasn't going to take it well.
Yeah, and it was just gonna get worse. And Toomey, Pambella says, right, Toomey knows that they're roommates, Nat and Kyle, so she might have to deal with a body if she didn't go check in on Nat. I did not think of that. So you're correct that there might have been a dead body. Both of them. It could have been both
Yeah.
of them died because I don't know which one I'm picking in the fight. They're both good enough. Also Lolly, yes, asked which captain was it that would not let the crew sleep in the master ever. I Pambella is saying sounds like Glenn, but I feel like Glenn just be so lost in the sauce sometimes that it was Captain Lee that was very particular and that you had to ask permission. But
Ooh.
yeah, I'm just remembering because again, him and Kate were so close that Kate would be like, Captain, this is happening. We good? What's going on? And almost give like a rundown, right? Of like, here's how we're gonna clean the sheets. Here's who's doing that. So I remember Stu doing that, but I just feel like it was Kate and Captain Lee, but I could be wrong. Let me know, y'all. Let me know. So now it's next morning. Max is threatening to quit. Also, Nat has decided to quit, but so has Max. Max saying, "I don't know if I can do this. This is too much. Why am I in it?" And then Natalia is sharing with everyone her game plan, Chappelle. I'm giving Kyle space. He needs a time. I can't be with him. Blah 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 blah. It's just like going back constantly over and over again. And I'm just like, Natalia, just someone give her the attention that she needs. And I don't mean it sarcastically, Chappelle. I just feel like just give her a little attention.
No, you're not wrong. Cause when you're upset, sometimes you want people to know you're upset. Like, come on, man. Cause
Me.
talk to me about it. I need same. Like if Yes, I'm upset and I'm not speaking to you, but I'm also being very loud in everything else I'm doing because I need you to look over here and know that I'm upset, you know? And so for Natalia, she's sitting around like, all right, y'all, I'm mad. I'm very annoyed. Who y'all don't see how annoyed I am? It's like, yeah, we saw it. We saw the fight, y'all. But I mean, y'all grown. Make up or move on. But she's like, I don't want to move on. I want to talk about it. And Kyle's the same way. Every time he gets a chance, he's like, you know who sucks? Natalia. I am so sick of her. I'm so glad her energy is not here. You know, blah, 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 blah. Both of them are like, they can't live without talking trash about the other one because they just have gotten so enthralled in this beef that they don't have anybody else to talk to. They were each other's person. And so now they have to go find random other people to vent to. If you're ever in that situation, go make up with your friend. Because that
Honestly,
means
yes.
go make
If
up with your
Chappelle
friend,
and I
whatever it is.
ever fought, I don't know what I would do.
Right. If I'm like going
Because
to
like
somebody like, and
who
let me tell you about Sasha, then I need stop. Just go talk to Sasha, whatever it is. I'm
yeah.
sorry, because it should not have gotten that far.
No, 100. I'm telling you, when you find friends that you can like openly vent and like it be normal, it's gold. Don't be
Yeah.
stupid, Kyle and Nat. But listen, they're blocking each other on Instagram. It's official.
It happened fast too. It happened fast. That Instagram unfollow it hurts. You're like, dang, what happened?
Oh my god. And of course Luca is in here while Nat is talking to Max and everyone about what's going on. And I love that she's like, "And you, Luca, did you kiss Jess? Cuz you know she has smoke for everyone." And Luca's
Yeah.
like, "We did not kiss. We did not do
Mhm.
anything."
Yeah.
Can I just say we I don't know what this award could be, y'all, but like
Okay.
everything Luca has said this episode is like player 101. Like he's so good.
He's so good. You know, normally we come in here like the game is the game. You got to know what you're
Yeah.
doing. X, Y, Z. This time we're like, no notes. No
Right?
notes. Doing what needs to be done, man.
Because I was watching this again with my mom and my husband, and like me and my husband just kind of looked at each other like, damn, he's so good. And Karthik just stares at me and he's like, that's a real one. And I was like, what do you know about it? Because, you
Yup.
know,
Leave him
please,
alone. He has a past. Carter can live. Let that man live.
only one of us can, right? I'm just kidding.
Yo,
uh,
Sasha, the most relatable part about this from me from Luca is that he is hungover while all
yes.
this is going on. So he's like, I'm trying to drink it away, y'all. I really don't have time for this. I didn't kiss her, and also I'm about to go. Like, you know, if it happens, it happens, but this is none of my business. I'm out. Peace.
1000%. Okay. And I think Luca is so irritated by Nat, right? Because he's like, no,
Hmm.
I actually was about it. And then you made me look stupid. I don't like
Yep.
that. And again, Scorpios are scorpions. Like when they bite and that tail comes for you, get out of
Yeah.
the way. Get out
And
of
And
the
it's not
way.
even aggressive. It's like passive aggressive. It's like it's so passive aggressive. Like, no, I don't understand why you're upset. I don't get it. What acting different? No, you said
Mhm.
you needed space. Well, I gave you space. What are you talking about? She's like, that's not what I mean. He's like, I'm sorry. What do you want? I mean, no, I don't get it. You know, it's just his aloofness is driving her crazy because she wants to be like, you're supposed to be there with me. We connected. And he's like, did we connect? Because when it was time to connect, you was like, oh no, get away from me. You know, I got things going on. You're all over me. I'm on the phone with my man. She's like, all right, cool. So yeah, she getting packed up. If this is the battle, if this is the game, she's losing. Luca's winning. Like I said, no notes.
1000%. Lucas said, "Thank you, smooches," as Matt says in the chat. I'm crying. It's true. And then, all this to say, Natalia has decided that she might be quitting. I thought she was full of shit, y'all. I was like, nah, she's just saying it because she's frustrated. Blah blah blah. Calls to me the Tuminator. Don't think I didn't catch it. Mm. And then it's beach club time. And when I say this is spiral central, oh, people above the age of 21 should not day drink. And this is what I mean.
Oh yeah,
It has
this is
gone
my
to hell.
tribe. This is my tribe. The day drinking, oh, this is my people. I'm a firm believer. If I can start in the daytime, then that means I can go home and take a nap before night comes, or I could just be at home all night sleep, you know, but I could get it out the
That is
way.
me. Yes.
Yeah, like I could get a good healthy buzz by like 4 or 5 p.m. and then go home, watch TV, just chill and just sit and just be done and then get some good sleep, man. I'm telling you. And Sasha, you know, you and I have traveled together before. this is my energy. Beach club me, please. Okay. This is it. Max and I, we are the same. You put me in a beach club, I'm fine. Give me my drink, give me my
I'm just
books,
gonna
give me
read
my
the book.
vibes.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna chill. Look, work is cool. We gotta do it to live because we gotta eat. But vacation, Chappelle? Oh no. Vibes only. I don't play around.
No, literally, when I'm on vacation, there's specific. I'm so bougie. I'm like, no, this is all I want to do. And if you try to change my laziness while I'm on vacation, it's gonna be bad. Like you
Yeah,
don't want
yeah.
the gnat to come out of me. You know what I mean? So very much
You
agree.
gotta do.
Okay, they're all just losing it. Laura is like being shady as hell because Laura is like, I wish we had drama. Like the interior has. Stop it. You did like are they forgetting
They are.
that Rue happened and that
Look,
y'all were the originators of drama on this boat?
they're forgetting about Rue and they're forgetting about Max. You know, it's funny because just by episode 4, they're like, I'm sick of Max. I don't know what we gonna do with him. Especially Laura, ma'am, you was ready to kick him off the boat yourself. So they've come a long way, and I like seeing people just very happy, enjoying themselves. The exterior group that's who you should be. Like they're giving me all the things I need from this show. I was like, yeah, it's just vibe, chill, a nice vacation. We got to go somewhere again. Sasha, plan the trip. Plan the next trip. Get Ty on the phone.
Let me
Get the
know.
get the Excel sheet going. It's time to go.
Listen, I vacation in December, LMK. Uh, and then, of course, while that's happening, Natalia is spiraling, right? So she's now mad that Luca didn't check up on her, didn't stand up for her because he was too busy under, or as she says, in Jess's vagina. Shut up. You know, like weirdo behavior. Worry about your man
Hater. Hater.
that's in 7 people's vaginas at a time, probably. And then Jess and Max, when they're talking about like good vibes, and Max is like really good book, Jess is like, I totally understand. I feel like I have that energy, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even know what Jess was saying. Okay. But it doesn't matter because Nat heard it. And she said,
Yeah.
What'd you say?
So Nat and Max originally are like, I'm not even coming. We not even about to come out
Right.
there. We good. So then when they pull up, Kyle immediately is like, I can't do this. I just can't live like this. Y'all, this is too much. I gotta go. And so he makes a whole scene, draws attention to him. And not to be undone, Natalia's like, well, let me make this about me too. So she's eavesdropping on Jessica and Max's conversation about Tony Robbins self-help books. Tony Robbins is like a personal, coach or whatever.
Yeah.
Made a career off of that kind of stuff.
CEO of the presidents.
Yeah, exactly. So look, so for Max, he's like reading about, the American dream, how to better yourself and how to take over and be the leader of the company and all this other stuff. Max seems to be like into those kind of books. He likes to read a lot. We've seen him bring up at least 3 different types of books since he's been on the show. So it's kind of cool. But as they start to talk about it, Jessica's like, oh yeah, I like to keep positive energy around me. I don't, you put out positive energy into the world, you get back positive energy. And Natalia is like, oh, well, let me shut all that down because I'm about to bring you a whole bunch of negative energy. And she just tells Jazz, oh, well, where were you when all that stuff was happening to me? And I had your back when Kyle was coming after you, but now you quiet, whoop, 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 like a church mouse. And I was just like, oh, no, because although I'm like, Nat, you're doing the exact same thing that Kyle accused you of, which is butting into other people's conversations. She's also not really wrong there. Jessica definitely took the like, okay, let me get out the way when it was now. But from that point of view, she like, I had Joe back when Kyle was coming at you, and now you have
But you
nothing to
started
say.
the drama, but
She
sure.
definitely did. She definitely did. I agree with you. But but Nat even had to concede. She's like, yeah, you're right. I guess I did kind of just leave you out to dry. But what Jessica should have said is, but it's because all the stuff that I was in was basically because of you. The stuff with the Toomey stuff and all that stuff. And so I removed myself from all that drama together. And I just couldn't be there for you this time. So as I said, I was looking at Nat crazy, like, damn, girl, you still doing the same thing they accused you of. But at the same time,
But
she
you
had a little point.
can't.
Yeah.
The problem is that Jess is unfortunately one of those people that will like come back to an argument and be like, damn, I should have said that.
I should have said that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I should have
should have said
bobbed.
that.
Yeah. Look, I get it, girl. Me too. I be playing it
My
over in my head
anger
in the
takes
car.
over, so I can't think straight, so I will never be good in an argument because it's either that I'm plotting your death or that I'll be like, "I will snatch your soul out of your body," so I just have to shut up because I
Yeah.
black out. So it's
Nah.
just Jess just like, she's just sitting on the floor in her bathing suit like, "Sure, I should have checked in on you." I would have been like, "Who are you? Why
Yeah.
would I check in on you? You're a crackhead. I can't."
Yeah.
God,
That's a it was tough to watch because we know Jessica doesn't want to be in any drama, but
no.
here it is. Here it is, you know. Again, you let positive energy in, you get positive energy. But she had been letting some negative energy in. She just didn't know it. You know, she didn't know that Natalia and Kyle were this toxic mess and that she was getting dragged into the middle of it with the Toomey stuff until it was too late. Now, once she got dragged into the middle of it, now she's like, dang, I want to get away from it. But she's still reaping some of that negative energy that she actually let in. You know, keep your head on the swivel. You got to make sure you keep out all the bad vibes, y'all. We got to stay on the up and up here on the below deck recap.
Good energies only. Okay, here. And then Nat says, "You know what? I gotta go. Okay, it's time for me to leave. I just need to get out of here." And then Jack shows up. And Jack is the Eeyore to like Natalia's Eeyore. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just like you would think Natalia is the only kooky person that's like in hell. No, Jack said, "Hold my beer," right? Like watch this, the Usher meme,
Hmm.
because he is in hell. He's just
Hmm.
like, "I'm mad that no one is mad about Natalia. Everyone is playing heads up while this
That
is
boy,
happening."
they do not care. Sasha, they do not care. This woman is down bad, and everybody like, so anyway, y'all like heads up? Y'all like board games?
They're like, I wish we had cards. And Luca's like, let's play that game, the head game.
Um,
I'm sorry. If no one cares about me like this, throw me overboard.
right. Well, Sasha, how do you feel about Jack here? Because Jack is very much in the camp of he's chosen his loyalty. He said from jump, you know, Natalia and him are friends. So
Yes.
so what's up? And then he saw what happened between Natalia and Kyle, and Natalia was definitely attacked by Kyle, and nobody cares. How do you
Not
feel
he
about
didn't
him?
say anything either, though.
He did speak up. He did. He spoke up a little
Oh.
bit. He was
Oh,
like,
you're right. He's like, yeah, she's never done it to me.
she's
Yes,
never
sorry.
done that to me because he's like, you've done it to everybody. He's like, not me. She's not done that stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. And so he's in a tight spot, right? Like, this is tough.
Yeah, here's the thing. Everyone deserves a ride or die. Like Jack. Okay, this is how I feel. I think like I'm joking that he's the Eeyore because I need at least 5 people to be down bad with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't just if it's just one, I'm like, "What did I do? I have no
Yeah.
friends because I only one person is crying for me? No way. I need 7, right? Like, I just need everyone to be down bad." And I will say Jack, I think, is trying really hard to be, a good friend to her. So, no notes for Jack. I just want him to, like, read the room that you can be tired and Jack is giving very much I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired energy,
Yeah.
but no one is meeting him there.
Mm-mm. Um, I was because he was saying it feels like Natalia is being forced out, and I do think that's the case. I agree
Yeah.
with him, and I don't think they're wrong for doing it. I think that's the problem, right? Like I'm like, yes, she's being forced out, and that sucks for her. But also, this is the bed you made when you acted like this all season, because now people don't want to jump in because they can't trust that this is not just a normal conversation, that it's not dramatic, it's not going to get back around.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I think that for Jack, he's like, yeah, if Kyle and Natalia have a fight, it should not mean automatically we're all gonna stop talking to Natalia, right? Because that's what happened. Everybody's kind of like, okay, well, bye, and went on about their day. But at the same time, Natalia is like, do you expect Toomey to be there for you? Because she not. Because why would she? Why would she? You already established that you don't want to be friends with her. Do you expect Jessica to be there for you when Jessica realized that you were the one who stirred up the mess for her? You know, the exterior is not in it. So they're like, bro. And the one person who would be in it is Luca, who's like, well, I tried to be close to you, and then I felt like you was playing with me, so I'm giving you space. You know, it's not like she looked around the room and there was no allies around, not the Max type allies, but no, she had no friends in the room anymore except for Jack. And they're all treating her like it. They're like, "This is a Kyle and you thing, and we don't want to be in it." And so for her,
Yes.
it does look like everyone's taking Kyle's side, but it's because Kyle is more active in being in the conversation. Natalia still wants to argue. She still wants to tell Jessica why she's wrong, why other people are wrong. Like, yeah, Jack, I hear you. I do. I get it. And like I said, kudos to being a good friend. But can you blame these people?
And everyone is gonna get skewered if you speak up by either
Mhm.
party, right? Like it doesn't matter if it's Kyle or Nat. So I just feel like poor Jack should just be a good friend and not worry about what everyone else is thinking, because I think everyone else is very much in survival mode of I don't want to be yelled at, so I'm just gonna let the toxicity be over there, and I will be
Mhm.
playing heads up. That is it.
Yeah.
And of course, when Natalia leaves, this edit, please inject it in my veins, because she's crying in the cab by herself. And it's just the fight audio playing in the background. When I say I actually couldn't breathe, because she's literally like, oh no, like hand on her forehead, like crying, crying. And then the edit is just like, you will never control.
Never, never control me. Never. Uh, man, it is good editing. I'm not gonna lie to you, because you could tell that argument is still running in her head over and over and again. And she's like, I can't believe he said that to me. And then I said this, and then I said this, and he said this, and these people don't have my back, and it's all bad. So it's like when you said you didn't really think she was going to quit at first, I kind of was in the camp of like, yeah, she probably won't quit. But if you think about her stuff that she outlined, right? The relationship issues back at home, the stuff with Luca,
Mhm.
the Tuminator, Vio Kyle, all that stuff compounded. It's like, bro, do you want to work with these people? Probably not. You probably want to go home and fix whatever this open relationship thing you have. And so, yeah, this is the moment where I knew we were done here. There was no coming back. She's quitting.
Yep, correct. And while she's quitting, we do get the line of the season. Line number 2, because "You never control me" is the line of the season.
Never.
Line number 2, tick, 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 text to Laura, of all people, not her boss, but Laura. Could you ask Luca if he'd carry my suitcase out in the morning?
Ma'am.
They're all at dinner, and then Laura just gets this text. Can I just, again, none of this, I could breathe, right? Because what do you mean, can you have Luca carry your suitcase? Like, isn't Jack your ride or die? Why are you not texting Jack that, "Hey, Jack, I'm gonna leave. Will you help me tomorrow?" She is so smart, because she knew she
Mhm.
wanted herself to be the topic of conversation. She's like,
Yep.
"I'm not physically at the table, but I would like to be at the table."
No notes. No notes. And look, again, I'm not. I in her position, it's definitely what you do, right? If you playing this
Yeah.
dirty game, then this is what you do. You're quitting, but everybody needs to know you're quitting. You need to be loud about it. And if they're at the table having a good time, you got to bust that up, And so, an adult thing to do would be to take your stuff and go. Go to the room, pack your things, go to Captain Sandy. Captain, I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave in the morning. XYZ. We can talk about it if you want to, but I'm leaving, or I'll wait until tomorrow or whatever. But she's like, I'm packing my bags. I gotta get all my stuff together because I'm definitely leaving. Also, I could text Luca, but he might ignore my text. But if I text Laura and then she tells Luca, then everyone's going to be talking about it. And it's, Laura, could you tell Luca to get my bags? Like you said, in actuality, she could just ask Jack to get the bags and it's no harm, no foul. Okay, cool. But no,
Yeah.
she
And
needs Luca
Zen
specifically.
Exactly. And Zen says, I think Luca had to get the bag from the storage hole. That very well could be true. We definitely didn't see that. But and I don't think that helps the edit, right, of this
Uh,
joke. So that very well could be true. But I think Laura, who's a lead deckhand, could also help you. Or
right.
she could be the one to orchestrate it. Because Laura been in the trenches
Uh-huh.
with her. And yeah, and I was about to say this, and Lolly says she got it herself. I don't Like I said, the edit didn't show her waiting on the deck team to get her anything.
Yeah. And
So,
yeah, and again, even if she needed Luca to get the bag from the storage hold, she could have just texted Luca that. Like I said,
that's true
kudos.
too.
Kudos, Nat. I'm sorry. Like, look, she's doing what needs to be
So
done.
good.
if you're going out, you go out with a bang. This is how you end up on reality TV another season.
Correct. But here's the thing, y'all. You would think that everyone would be in shambles, blah, blah, blah. No, they said, so how are we dividing up the rooms now?
Sasha, they divided up the vans. We got titties and sucking and twerking and thongs and everything. They are not concerned with this woman at all.
No, because they literally said, everyone, let's pick the rooms. You know, Kyle for sure led that conversation. Shady, or as you said, vile Kyle, definitely led that conversation. But my God, they are ruthless. They're like sharks smelling blood in the water. They're like, more space for me? Thank you. Yes, please. And Toomey's like, I'm fine. She can go. And then I love that Luca's like, everyone, one cab. It's time to get debaucherous. What is happening? Why are people touching nipples?
Nipples. We got some twerking. We see multiple thongs. I was just like, there's a lot going on. There's some kissing going on.
A whole lot of ass being thrown around.
A whole lot of ass being thrown around. And it's funny. One van is like it just like you said, debauchery, and then the other van is Jack pouting like, "Oh, people are mad. People aren't sad. My friend is leaving," and Max being like, "Why am I here? What are we doing? Like, today was vacation. Y'all ruined it with all this arguing and stuff. We could have been having a good time."
I know. And meanwhile, why are Laura literally needs sex? Like, someone please give her sex, because why
everybody.
is she? Yeah, like take you suck in this nipple here, then kissing Luca over the seat. Like what? And then they're like, great, now it's thong time. And meanwhile, Jess and Luca still have not kissed, right? At this point, I believe. So that's why it's making me laugh even more that all of this is to say the other cab shambles. Okay, shambles. And of course, debaucherous cab has now landed at the bar. And now Luca says, where's Frenchie?
He's like, I'm out. The man went home. He said, I'm going home. I'm good on this. Yeah, y'all doing the most. I can see the writing on the wall. He's probably a little conflict averse. You can tell he's running from this. So I didn't blame him. I actually would have loved to see Max in the mix too, having a good time. But you know, when the vibes are off, the vibes are just off. But we did see Haley. Big T 563 in the chat says Haley got some screen time, which never happens because Haley's shift just does not work with the show.
Screen time.
That too, yeah. So Haley's like, I'd be missing all the good stuff. You know, all the fighting and stuff. Haley just shows up and like, how we get here? Let's take shots.
Yep, she's very much just like, woo, let me just show up here and do that. Maybe I'll get some time. Then Kyle, of course, is like, I am feeling liberated. I am more free to be myself. I said, more free? I don't need more of this.
Turn it down. Turn it down. Yeah, this is fun though. Watching them all out, I was like, okay, you know, I love when the below deck teams go out and go party and stuff. It's always fun. That's when you get the hooking up, and you know, a lot of Jessica and Luca drama as well, because you know, Jessica apparently she's a relationship girly. You know, she likes to lock it down.
You don't fall for boys like Luca, then please. And Toomey's like, I see it. I see the train wreck already. And then again, point number 7,000 for Luca. Because then finally he kisses Jess. Like, it's very hot, right? He just grabs her face. But I mean, it's consensual, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then she goes, Luca is just like, yeah, let's kiss. They start kissing. And I love that Jess is like, I shouldn't be kissing you. And he says, then don't. And just keeps kissing.
The player, tens across the board. No notes. He did it.
No notes.
Yeah. Yep. There you go.
I was like, yeah, I've been there.
He cooked up. It happens. Toomey is worried about Jess a little bit, but I'm like, just fine. She like, as long as she does not expect this to be a long-term relationship, she will be okay. Because she calls her emotional. I don't think she's very emotional. I think she's kind of measured, you know, because she's saying all the things. It's not like she's coming to us being like, I really like him and I want to be with him forever. She's saying, no, I don't need to do this, because if I go that route, then it will end up there, and that's not going to be great. So at least she's self-aware enough to know that this ain't the route she should be going, but they're having a good time. Sasha, they drinking a little bit. Let them have fun. Let the kids play.
And she's eyes and ears, right? She's like, "Oh, he was just in someone else's bed, and now he's hopped
Mhm.
into mine." So it just look at the lay of the land. He is
Uh-huh.
community dick, and that's okay. Sometimes you're just like, "I would like some of that because look how he looks. I would like to add that to my roster."
Ain't
Go
nothing wrong
ahead,
with
girl.
community service. Yeah, service
Absolutely
community.
not. Chappelle, the #1 community service award for
You
his
see it.
fraternity, everyone. Anyway, woo! And and of course, Kyle is a full-on mean girl, right? Like, they're all back on the boat. Chef shambles with his double gin and tonics. Chef is back on boat, and he's hitting his own galley. Like, why are you trashing your own space?
He's super drunk. Jack falls down at some point. I
Yes.
yeah, just I've been there to where you like, I don't know
Same.
how I made it home except off the kindness of strangers or my coworkers or whatever the case may be. And this is not great. This is not great. But he's down bad. He don't know how to process his emotions. He's a little upset. His friend is gone. He can tell she really probably about that life when it comes to quitting. And he's on the wrong side of his argument, so he really can't speak up without, potentially pissing off Kyle. So he just kind of tries to drink it away, but that
He's
rarely helps.
literally feelings. Like we have Laura who's talking about eating her feelings,
Feel
and
seen.
I am definitely Jack, where I think I would drink my feelings more than I would eat them. But the problem is I'm a thrower when I'm drunk. So like I do not like having anything on me as a drunk person. So I will be like Hansel and Gretel, just leaving like crumbs behind of like my valuables. So that is why I always need a human with me that's like picking it up behind me. It's just shambles. Okay, all of this is shambles. And Luca, we get the spineless jellyfish moment and says, I don't want to stand up for Nat, even though I think Kyle is wrong because they're gonna bite my head off, and I'm just, trying to stick the head in somewhere else. That's all. So
Yeah.
Lara is then describing her poops, of course. Her
Mhm.
if why, but sure, disgusting. I don't need it.
Very, very graphic details about some very large orifices on Lars' body. Um, and I will leave it
Like,
at
have you been
that.
fisted? Like, damn, like
I
how
mean,
does
she
that
said
happen?
it was a massive. So it's like, yeah, someone went forearm deep inside of that before, it seems seemingly. Seemingly.
Allegedly,
Um
allegedly, allegedly.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Like we don't know, but also that's what she's leading us to believe. She described a very big opening, you know.
It's Rob cannot listen to another podcast. Woohoo!
Nope, he's out.
Uh, no.
Yeah, Sasha though. When Luca finds out about what Laura's message about, Natalia wanting him to help, he says, "I might help." Now, Sasha, what do you think about
He
Luca?
loves it.
Yeah, he
He
loves.
loves it. This is the attention he's been craving, right? And this is what you have to do, y'all. If someone is like not giving you they're breadcrumbing you, you have to remove yourself
Yeah,
and never show yourself sweat. You can sweat like
never.
your friend. Yeah, you will never see me sweat. Okay. And that's what Luca's doing, right? He's like, I might help her. We'll see how
Right.
I feel. He helped her. All right, everyone. But oh my God, the way the energy is giving, and people are gonna go report back to her. He's
Mm-hmm.
not dumb. He
No,
knows. So that's why I feel like no, this is all calculated as hell on his part.
look. I mean, give it. The man did what needed to be done. This is a perfect episode for Luca. I don't
Multiple
no notes.
times.
No
Yes.
notes.
Because we can end up this Luca, storyline. Because then, of course, I missed this at first because I think I was taking notes. I don't know what happened. But Luca and Jess are full on having sex, like just completely, with Toomey's comforter being their curtain.
Mhm.
Murder would happen if you used my comforter in any way close to your ex.
Well,
Like,
they
there's no way.
she got carried away. They pulled it down a little bit too, and so that's when we saw that they were doing the deed. And then Toomey, they had to put the bed back together so Toomey wouldn't know because, like you said, murder could happen. And again, Toomey walks in, sees the curtain, and says, "All right, well, good night, y'all." That means go ahead, get out. Luca, you had your time.
Yep.
You can go ahead and go.
Hope you already did, but wrap it up in different
Y-
ways.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You are welcome to leave, Jessica, but I will be going to sleep now. Again, adult things, because when you're in your 20s, you probably like, oh, let me give y'all space. You crazy kids, y'all keep me young type of situation. Let me get out the way. When you grow, you're like, shut it down. Shut it
You're like,
down.
shh, 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 shh.
Yeah, I got to sleep, if nothing else. So I'm glad y'all are finally connected, but time is up. Wrap it up.
Again, there are like different cabins. Just use them. Or again, figure out a way to like make some like switches. This is so girl, and it just probably smells disgusting in there. All
Mm.
right. I can't imagine the sex smells in that small cabin with no window. God, no. Okay. And of course, the best way to get over someone is to get under. So Luca is completely fine and happy. Jess is, I think, very pleased because she's like, wow. And then just goes to bed. I said, yes. You know she got hers.
Love that for you, ma'am. Love that for you.
You deserve it. Um, and then the next morning, of course, Max's Eiffel Tower isn't working. His London
Look.
Bridge is only going down.
That was good.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that one. Yeah, when he said
Me
it the
either.
first time, I was like, "Is this a French joke?" And then I like stopped it in my mind because I was typing it in my notes. My Eiffel Tower was like, "Oh," I said, "Oh yeah, yeah, it happens."
Can't really. And he's like, that must mean I'm not in a good space.
Bad vibes, man. Bad vibes. You
Is
wake up and
that
like,
real? Can chat let me know also.
I'm trying. Let me think. Because like there's some days where you wake up empowered, and sometimes
Oh, got it.
you
Okay.
wake up feeling like it's a virile, I think is probably the word I'm looking for. You kind of like I don't know, you just feel like yourself, and sometimes you
Oh,
know
yes. Okay.
yeah, the monuments be up, but then other times it's kind of like you got things to do, you just go about your day, right? But sometimes again you're like, hold on, pay attention.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, yes.
Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. Because like, it's not like if you go to sleep in a bad mood, you're going to wake up and be like, "Oh, it's a sad day today." It seems, but it's
That's
just some
growth,
days.
yeah.
Yeah. It's for us. It's just some days you just wake up and you feel like I can take on the world today.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not the vibe I'm getting on my day off. I'm not. For me to be on vacationing kind of right now from the charter, not having no drama, and no one's yelled at me in a couple days. I haven't screwed nothing up. I should really be waking up kind of fired up. And I just, kind of sad, just kind of flaccid, for lack of a better word.
Oh, womp, womp, womp. Yeah,
Womp
got
womp.
it.
Well,
Okay,
literally, sad
that
trombone. Bum,
that
bum, bum,
makes a lot of sense.
bum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Got it. And yes, now is the, what they're gonna probably stretch for at least an episode and a half more.
Yeah.
But it's Nat the snitch. She goes to Captain Sandy and she said, here's my side. I love that to her that is their, perception is reality, but I feel that Nat did not do a great job of sharing everything.
No, no, okay, elaborate on that. What do you mean?
Cause she said, I always thought he was one of my best friends. And Kyle has been screaming at Jess. And I try to like diffuse a situation and he started yelling at me and told me I was worthless, right? Like everything she said. And Sandy's like, Captain Sandy says, that's bullying. I will be talking to Kyle.
Mhm.
And is Kyle a bully? 1000%. Is Natalia a bully? 1000%. So I feel that she wasn't 100% honest. And Jennifer had said this before, and I'd start it for now, but Jennifer says, as a member of the LGBTQ plus community, Captain Sandy might have been more sympathetic to Kyle if she'd known the fight was Max wanting straight to be added to the acronym. I don't know that she might have been more sympathetic. I do feel that yes, it would have been a moment, right? And I think Captain Sandy would have understood the frustration a little bit better.
Yeah. So when it comes to Nat, for the sake of honesty and transparency, yeah, she only really told Kyle's side. She's like, I was just
Mhm.
standing there, I was a victim. Oh my God. Like he said all these mean things to me, and I just could not believe. Okay, Nat. Now, like I said, that's for transparency, as far as being fair to Kyle, as far as like trying to present the information as it happened. But for a person who's about to quit their job, oh no, she did exactly what she needed to do. She dropped
Oh,
a
correct.
bomb and then left.
Correct.
She dropped a bomb and left. She said, "Oh no, Kyle's awful, and let me tell you all the reasons that Kyle is awful. You know, and he did this to Jessica, he did this to Max, he did this to me. You know, and now I can't even get my work done, and I'm such a good stew, and now you're gonna be losing me, and it's all Kyle's fault. Okay, bye." And that's it.
Yeah, literally. Yep.
No notes. Why would she? You know what I'm saying? Why would she go out of
She
her way to
owes
make
no
herself
one
look bad?
anything.
Anything. They will never get anything out of her. Never.
You will never see me back with Kyle. Watch next season. They're back
Next week,
together.
they're best. We made up. We went on a tour of Italy and everything's fine.
Not tour Italy. Okay, more like tour Eiffel Towers or two. But
Ah,
either way, it's just yeah, I feel that she did not display it correctly, but I'm also with you, Chappelle, that like it doesn't equal she did the wrong thing. She very much said, "Let me light it and walk away," right? Like that is her.
yeah, and it was frustrating to watch because I was like, "Dang, Nat, you really kind of making it look like it's all Kyle's fault." But at the same time, she don't owe the truth. You know, this is not Toomey coming to Captain Sandy trying to mediate. This is Natalia saying, "You hurt my feelings, and now I'm about to hurt your feelings, and I'm about to quit my job, and you're not gonna be able to catch me because when I leave, I got you blocked on Instagram. I won't be returning your text. Good luck, sir. Sucks to suck." And so I was like, "All
Yep.
right." Again, she packed them up. No notes. I've been critical of Natalia throughout the season, but if you're gonna do the thing, this is how you do it.
Oh, this is how you 1000%. This is how you do it. And just like play that, right? Like that you about to lose your job. Hey, like
You
that's
about
how
to
she
lose
walked.
your job. Yeah.
That's how she walked off the boat. I swear to God. And again, I don't think she's wrong. I'm just saying she did not say the full story. And Big
Mm,
T did ask that, are you surprised Sandy didn't try to talk Nat into staying? Yes and no.
mm,
I think that Captain Sandy is no one's fool, right? And especially with interior, we know that that is very clear that that is not something Captain Sandy cares to do, if that makes sense. I think Captain Sandy's like, if you made your decision, I want to support you. Get the hell out. Not actually. I think she was very kind. And Natalia was in shambles, right? Like crying, really losing it. And Penny also says, Chappelle, that I think this was Sandy's second conversation, and her mind was made up and supported, her. Correct. So Sandy already knew the issues with Natalia and her man as well. So let's not forget
yeah.
that either.
Well, also, let's not forget that, I mean, here on Below Deck RHAP, recap, we have been calling for Natalia's job since roughly the second or third episode.
Hmm.
So that all got back to Captain Sandy too. And so now Captain Sandy's like, I could try to get you to stay, but you ain't been no angel either. There's been a lot of drama surrounding you and Kyle. So although you are quitting, I probably would have had to do a lot. Like, had she not been quitting, had this information come out, then we'd have the next episode would be Kyle's versus Natalia, and whose side Captain Sandy's gonna take.
Yep.
It's a lot easier to just kind of let her go and be like, all right, well, as opposed to having Toomey trying to pick sides between Kyle and Nat, and then that affecting work again, all that stuff. The alternative, I don't think she's worth keeping. Not saying that she's not a good stewardess. I'm just saying for
No,
the
which she
amount of
is.
drama,
Yes.
yeah, the amount of drama she could potentially get back, and she could have avoided had Natalia not been here this season. I think you just got to let her go. Like, hey, the chips are falling in a way that we didn't expect. I'm sorry that it's not working out. I wish you the best of luck. Just know that I do value you as an employee. You were good at your job, but is it enough to fight for? It's kind of like asking Toomey to fight for her too. It's like, Yeah, as far as I need help on the boat, yeah, I would love Natalia to stay. But as far as somebody I think is around that is being pleasant with the staff and working well with others and is making my job easier, maybe not. So maybe I just, hey, don't go, but also good luck if you do.
Yeah, I agree with you. And we don't know what's gonna happen with Kyle because and I really appreciate what the Brad guy 93 says in the chat that Nat did make it out like Kyle was the villain, but Kyle absolutely was a shit starter this season, so I'm not mad at him at catching shots. Correct. I think
Yeah.
that's exactly how it should be. And then Sandy, I think, does her Captain Sandy thing where now she's brings everyone in. She talked to Jack, and Jack, of course, does the whole. They're all insecure, and that's great and perfect. And I said, marry her then, because you're
Ooh.
doing too much.
Yeah, now that was some weird stuff, Jack. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, Jack, that's your homie, so I don't mind you coming in and going to
But
bat
you
for
would
her.
never, if I was in that position, you would never be like they're all insecure and jealous of Sasha. You'd just be like they're
Okay, I might.
stupid.
I might have pulled
No.
that card. I might be like, no, they all hating on the queen. They better bow down. It's a
Yeah,
real one
I would.
left today. Yeah, like,
Yeah, I would
like,
say I'd be like they're just mad that Chappelle's better than them. Okay, fine. Okay, maybe
yeah,
that
that's what I'm
isn't.
saying. That's what I said, Jack. On the one again, for the sake of transparency and stuff like that, Jack, that's not the case. Stop it. It's not that they all hating on Natalia. Natalia asked to be rude, and it's okay. Sometimes you can be good at your job and also a very rude person. Comma, but if this your homie, oh, you definitely go to Captain Sandy and be like, they all the issue. It's all them. It's them. She was never the drama. It was never like they hate her because she's great, and I want her to get a job next time. So if you looking for somebody, get her on again.
Mhm.
You got to go to bat for your friends. I was annoyed with Jack because I'm definitely not on Toomey's. I mean, I'm sorry, on Kyle's and
Yeah.
Natalia's side when it comes to these arguments. I definitely think both of them have been acting ridiculous. But when it comes to like being a good friend, yeah, you 100% come in and tell Captain Sandy, hey, yeah, Natalia has her faults. But really, she's really, really good at her job. And if it wasn't for messy ass Kyle and all these haters, she would be running circles around these people. She should have been chief stew in the first place. And then when they watch the show back, she knows she got a real ride or die friend on her shoulders. So like hey, no notes, Captain Jack, no notes.
Yeah, and like I said, I wanna be clear that, like, I'm just talking about reality.
Oh
I
yes,
like, what Jack and Nat and
he was
Natalia,
lying. Yeah.
everyone played their correct place. Yeah, like, you did the right thing on the chessboard.
Yeah, kudos. We said this was a good episode. Look, again, I love to see them. Look, when they're doing what needs to be done, we have to give them their flowers.
Yes, because 'cause you're just like, it's not my friend, but you know what? You're right, 'cause Natalia's very much giving the Denzel energy, right? Like, I'm from around the way, I'm leaving here with
I'm leaving with
something,
something.
and that's a pound of Kyle's flesh.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna
She's
take
like,
it down with her.
you might have won the battle, but I will win the war."
Again, no notes. No notes.
No, so good. Toomey just come in, and Toomey does the, like, I think the 50-50, here's what's going on. I didn't even take notes on it because I was like, "Sure, Toomey." Like, and we know how you actually feel is that you are glad Natalia's off the post.
Yeah, I mean, Toomey also did allow it to fall on Kyle a little bit more than I thought she would.
Yes.
I really thought she'd be like,
She's tired
well,
of his shit too.
yeah, she said, "Hey, if they gotta go, they gotta go." But yeah, if you're asking who has been stirring the pot the most, 100%
Mhm.
Kyle, 100%. It's not close.
Yeah. And Penny does bring up also a really good point. She brought it up before. That Sandy reminds to me she's managing all the time, which is something I don't know that I agree with, but I understand this perspective. I just don't believe that on your off days you should be in charge of like herding these damn cats. Like it just shouldn't be that way. And I think she did well, right? Toomey did well by separating everyone, but agreed that Penny doesn't like that Kyle goes to that Toomey goes to Kyle for reassurance and camaraderie with the comments. And I think that's what gets her in trouble.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
why
ju-
she's distancing herself.
Yeah, it's to me. You cannot say I'm not in it, but then whenever something happens with Natalia, be like, Kyle, okay, you see it happening, but I don't care. Like y'all laughing and kikiing whenever something go down, but then at the same time, you're like, what? That's y'all grown, y'all got it. Nope.
Mhm.
Either you're all the way in or you're all the way out. You can't have it both ways. Either you're off work and you're not managing, or you are at work and you are managing, but you can't. I'm your boss, so I'm gonna let y'all be grown, and then be, ha ha, Kyle. I see what you're doing. Like, I see. Yep, she's awful. I ain't mad. If she gotta go, she gotta go. You gotta keep that
Mhm.
professional stuff separate. As far as her managing off the boat, Captain Sandy, you ain't captaining off the boat. So, I don't think I think that you have to have a divide. There needs to be a certain, like, hey, I'm off the clock. I'm
Yes.
not in this stuff. And if it affects work, that, yeah, as a manager, you should know that the stuff that I say off the boat will affect work. These people are not going to leave all that stuff when they get on the boat. We're humans. Everybody takes that baggage with them. And so it's your job to not increase that while y'all aren't at work. But as far as managing them, no, 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 no. At best, I can advise them, y'all need to separate because this is going to be bad for work tomorrow. But
And you're making
you
sure
gotta stay out of that.
everyone's safe because of
Yeah,
it, but that
ex
should be like, safety, I feel like, is all you should be doing as a manager.
yeah.
And I will say, that Sandy doesn't go out with them, or any Captain Sandy or
Mhm,
any of the captains don't go out with them for this reason, because if Captain Sandy was there, right, she would have to then step in and be the managerial role, right, because she's everyone's boss. So but she
mhm,
doesn't do that. So if but the way production is set up, the head of departments do have to go out with their subordinates.
mhm,
So then we have to find a way for safety, but that I feel that that's where the job should start and end. So I'm with you. And
yeah.
Kate does say in the chat, how often do bosses have to manage very drunk people? It's not a job I'd sign up for. Let me tell you, it's a horrible job. As
Right.
the president of my sorority and the sober person.
Yeah. As the drunk
Horrible.
person, I feel bad for the president of my fraternity. So I'll just say that. But, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like, again, these people grown, they do stuff off the boat. Because if it gets to the point where when they go out, Toomey can't control the drunk people, so now she has to
Yes.
call Captain Sandy, then Captain Sandy gonna have an issue. It's like, okay, well, you said I'm still managing, so to what point, right? Like, if it gets out of control, do I come to you and be like, hey, we was at the bar and then Jessica was kissing Luca in front of Nat, and then Nat got mad, and then da 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 da.
Mhm.
That don't bring all that stuff into y'all work life. Y'all can go out and keep those things separate, but you have to keep them all the way separate. You cannot have it both ways.
Yeah, that's exactly, how I feel as well, and I think, again, I'm speaking as, like, someone that managed people. It's just if you're on 24/7, you are not going to be a good manager.
Mhm.
So, just shut up, Twitter people. Twitter people are really pissing me off with their, like, manager 101. Like, "Oh, a quit is people leave management, they don't leave jobs."
That's a lie. That's a lie.
First of all, be so
That's a
for real.
right. I've left them both, baby.
Yeah, and she's not leaving because of Toomey. She's leaving because of Kyle, because of Luca, because of Jess, because of, and then Toomey as well. It's not just the manager. And then
Yeah.
how does that not reflect bad on Captain Sandy? Like, stop. All right,
Right.
just stop.
And Natalia said in one of the very first episodes, she's letting her open relationship thing affect the way her work is happening.
Yes.
So unless Toomey is going to manage this woman's open relationship, there's nothing she can do to make Natalia not a monster at work. And then all
Mhm.
this stuff with Kyle is going to happen eventually. She cannot stop them from being who they are. So yeah, let it go. I think a lot of people are looking for a lot of this to be Toomey's fault, and they just have been all season, and they haven't been able to get
Mhm.
their pound of flesh because it's very clear that there have been other factors, whether it's Natalia, whether it's Kyle, that have been making things difficult for Toomey. I know we sound like Toomey apologists here, but someone has to be because it seems like the people online are just ignoring all this sniping and fighting from these other people and trying to put the blame on someone who is just trying to do their job. They didn't ask for any of this drama.
Yeah, and also, it's just in addition to that is folks don't understand how this all looks, right? Because edit has given us over and over again. Our production is like, here's exactly what happened when Natalia is sharing this or when Kyle is sharing this, right? They're literally giving us flashbacks
Mhm.
to 5 minutes ago or flashbacks to the season before. So that's why I'm like, what's not clicking in y'all's head? That no one's saying Tubi's perfect, but that
Mhm.
doesn't equal that you're expecting her to be superhuman. And again, don't get me started on Black women and women of color and the the perfection that is expected. So that is not this podcast. So I will
Mhm.
stop it. And Anna said it best again that Natalia was definitely leaving for the boyfriend first and foremost, and the rest just made it happen faster. Period.
Points are
What?
made.
Yep. And then it's Kyle's time to come in. And I think we can leave that for next week because it's the conversation started, but no, it's going to get messy. It's going to be horrible. Chappelle and chat, do we think that Kyle is getting fired? I believe it's going to be strike number like 2, right? Like he's 75%. Yeah.
I I would be first of all, I would be so upset if I got fired because I got into an argument with a coworker outside of work. Number one. Now, I'm not saying that the stuff that they were arguing about and the stuff that got back to her weren't fireable offenses, but I'm just saying if I'm
Yeah.
in Kyle's shoes, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I said some really mean things than that, and she quit. She didn't have to quit. She grown. She could have came and talked to you about it, and we could have mediated and all that kind of stuff. And so I should not be punished because someone quit. That is not a thing. But also, Nat outlined a lot of ways that Kyle has been wrong this season. And again, I don't think she was wrong about those ways. The Jessica stuff,
Mhm.
the Toomey stuff, even the Nat stuff. Um, I but Captain Sandy firing Kyle based on Natalia's words, basically, is kind of like, you
That's
know,
Captain Sandy, but we'll
right.
see. We'll see.
Yeah, it's like, huh, you just gonna listen to Natalia, but you did not have the same energy when all the drama was surrounding Natalia. It was, well, Toomey, you
Mhm.
gotta manage better, and Toomey, you gotta do this, that, and the other, woo, woo, woo. But now it's like, nah, Kyle, I'm sick of your shit. Okay, well, when were you gonna be sick of Natalia shit? Because I got drunk and had one fight. She, the last night, and now I gotta answer about the Jessica fight, even though we squashed it. I gotta answer
Yes.
about drama that is hearsay and all this other stuff. So I think it's very interesting. I don't think Kyle should be fired because of this, mostly because it didn't happen at work. Now, if it
Mhm.
was at work, then yeah, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
you got to go.
while charter guests can hear you. Oh, wait, that's Natalia and Toomey.
Right? Exactly. Nobody was fired. uh, a slap on the wrist at best. And so I'm like, don't start firing people
Sorry.
now because of disputes when it's not really work related. But I do think that conversation needs to happen. I'm not absolving Kyle of anything. Like, he was awful. Just for as a man, just in general, it's always hard for me to see men talk to women like that. Just whatever. I don't care. Call me old fashioned, whatever the case may. I don't care.
Mhm.
There's just a thing that I just don't. I don't. It don't sit right with me. So in general, I think Kyle was awful. He's awful. He's awful. He should go. Just in general, just get away from people if you're going to be acting like this. Stop trying to stir it up.
Yeah.
Every time someone turns around, you are always bringing up Natalia. They called him like he was acting like a mean girl in this episode, and he very much was. You don't like somebody, stop talking about them because it definitely seems like you a fan of that person by talking so much. That said, I just don't feel like this was a fireable offense for somebody to be having with a coworker outside of work. Is there other stuff that's going on? Sure. Should you address it? Definitely. But try addressing it first because you have not mediated with Kyle at all. There's not been a
That
Kyle
part.
sit down about any of this stuff. Don't pop off at Kyle
There's
all of a
only
sudden
been
with
a Nat sit down, like,
exactly.
before, right? But not yes, with
Exactly.
Kyle.
So that's kind of where I stand.
And
I
chat seems to agree. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't want to sound like, again, I'm not trying to be like, well, Nat can go, but Kyle can't go. Like they both can go. I don't really care. But at the same time, I just feel like you got to keep that energy across the board. And it didn't seem like that was the same energy you had for Natalia.
Yep. And we did get the infamous clip, right? That you've been yelling since you got on the boat. We did get it at the end of this episode. And Zen agrees that, yeah, confirmed that we got it. So, yes.
But
I think
but
that,
Sandy,
yeah, he's just
no,
going to get.
you think so?
No, I don't think he's gonna get fired. I just think he's gonna
Mm.
get like a talking to, and he's gonna get like, this is your last chance. You're on your last leg. Blah blah blah. And if anyone missed anything, don't worry. They're gonna just replay this whole conversation with Sandy, I'm sure, at the start of the next episode. So we're fine. And Asante also has a really interesting point that I think Luca should ask Captain Sandy to talk to Max if he keeps wanting to leave. I think everyone knows Max is like adrift at Bay. Like he just beyond shared that at BravoCon. Max said that he already may have, like, he hinted that he may have done another season. So I don't know that he's gonna quit, basically.
I just don't think he should quit because, for one, he's been fired from all the jobs that he's ever done, and it looks like this job is one that he can actually do effectively. And he
Yes.
had his bumps at the beginning, but they've learned how to deal with them. They actually find him pleasant. You should have quit when you were being, a little brat in the first episode. That's when you should
Yeah.
have quit. Now that you actually figured it out, yeah, stick around. I think the vibes were off. And I think for someone like him, they're stuck in the enjoyment out of the job out for him. And so, and he was fine when they were at work. It's these 2 days off that they've had that's really drove him crazy. And so I think Toomey suggested he might be homesick at one point, but I
Mhm.
would be surprised and a little disappointed if Max quit. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's been good TV.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think that everyone just needs a breather and some, just like time apart. Also, we have had Sandy, Captain Sandy's like leadership building team activities. So I hope we don't get that again. Because last time on Below Deck Proper, when she filled in for uh, Captain Lee, she decided to do a whole volleyball
Oh,
activity, and it was interior versus exterior, I believe. And some people were like, I have work to do. Charter is tomorrow, and you're making me play volleyball in the sand. So I hope we don't get any of that. I hope she's learned and doesn't do it. So let's see. I'm excited for next episode. And the biggest Bravo like editing joke of this episode has been all this, right? Like Captain Sandy yelling at Kyle, leaning into it. Episode ends, and about not even an ad, not a break, nothing. It's Kyle on the microphone at BravoCon, and he opens that next piece, like the next programming segment. I said, "What? Isn't he just getting yelled at?" And now it literally cuts to him being like, "And welcome to BravoCon." What?
keep you tapped in. Okay. They know what they're
So
doing.
funny. Production pet. I love it. Okay. And with
Mhm.
that, I think that is it. Anything else, Chappelle?
Yeah, I got an Instagram message from Will Middleton. Shout out to
Oh,
Will.
yes.
And Will sent me a post from Captain Hey Hey. That would be Haley on from
Mhm.
Below Deck Med 3 hours ago. Haley posted, I thought I signed up for Survivor. And I'm like, Haley, you thought you signed
What?
up for Survivor? And it's just a picture of her on the boat, blowing a kiss, saying, I thought I signed up for Survivor. And I'm thinking, I'd love to see Haley on Survivor. That would be fun. Don't let my worlds
Can
collide.
you imagine if Haley was on Survivor?
We need it. We need that. We
No,
don't because we
there's no
don't get a
way.
lot of Haley content here on Below Deck. We
Mhm.
really don't know much about her. Let her shine. I think Lara would be infinitely more entertaining just based off what we've seen so far. But maybe
Yep.
there's something there in the character that we're just missing. And she tagged at Survivor CBS, so I think she's serious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my, can y'all imagine us having to go on the Survivor, like, cast, and everyone's like, "So how do you know Haley?" "Well, she was kind of purple, but we did get her nipple sucked."
Yeah, we look, I'm drafting her first. Hopefully she's not the grenade, but with my luck, who knows?
Will you draft her or her boob is the better question.
Which one is more likely to be shown on the show? Because we've seen very little
Boobs,
of her. Yeah, we've seen very
correct.
little of Haley on this show, but we've seen the boob.
Yeah, no, and I love that Brad says, waiting for them to show up on the challenge.
Give
Crying.
me something,
Uh, yeah.
they were on Project
Winter
Runway
House.
and
Yeah,
Winter
and
House,
Anna
yeah.
talks about, yeah, them being heavy. I know, I need to check it out because I loved Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Y'all, I believe that Chappelle needs to go on that show on
I can't
March.
do it.
No,
No.
you have to.
Mm-mm.
No, like
Nope.
how do I bully you into going on?
Stop this.
I'm telling you, I need it. I need
Nope.
it. Anyway, that is Chappelle's show. If Chappelle's underscore show, and with that, if there is nothing else, Chappelle, I think we can wrap it up.
Yes, this has been fun, but the holidays upon us, and so thank y'all again
Yes.
for checking us out one day before the American Thanksgiving, and then we will be back next week. I'm assuming I don't think there's any programming changes, so I think we should be
No.
back next week, and then in 2 weeks, Sasha and I will be traveling to the boot. To New Orleans, we'll be in Louisiana, and
Yes.
so we might have to delay our recording of that podcast, but we'll
Yeah,
figure that one out. But I know last time we didn't go live, we didn't tell y'all. So this is me giving you two
I
weeks
know.
notice. I'm quitting, so I'm giving you 2 weeks notice that Tasha and I will be on a brief hiatus while we travel to New Orleans, Louisiana, and vacation a little bit. We might get on a boat. They have those river boats.
Why did I put that already on my list?
Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah. I wonder if they got
Yep.
open bars on the river boat. Yeah, we might have to
Oh,
do this. We might have to
I
record.
found one on TikTok. Don't
Yes,
worry. Uh,
yes.
so the point is, we will be good like podcasters and report back to
Mhm.
you. Oh my God, Zen. This is so cool. We have to celebrate this. Thanksgiving is Zen's 35th wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Zen Knitter in the
Oh my
chat.
God.
And
That's
please, if you're listening
huge.
to this, join the chat. We can celebrate your anniversaries too. Follow us
Yeah.
on YouTube or and be a part of the conversation. It's a great time.
Yes. And we hope that you have a good holiday, whatever however that may mean. And you however you celebrate. So we will miss you all in 2 weeks, but we'll be back next week. And until then, make sure you leave us a 5-star only, okay, review. Help us out. You can go to Apple Podcasts. I know Sante asked. So you can go to Apple Podcasts and just type in Bravo TV Wrap Up, same on Spotify, and just go down. You'll see the unfilled in stars and just hit that fifth star, not the one, the five,
Not the one.
okay? Please. And same on Spotify. I think Spotify is even easier. You just like have to find the little thing, the stars, and just hit 5. If you want to leave us a rating, we might end up reading it as well. A review, sorry. We might read it. And Lolly, happy 50th. Oh my god. And with that, you can find me as always over on Mess Magnets, where Kirsten McKennis and I cover a pop culture celebrity gossip. Honestly, it's gonna be a crazy one. We just talked Britney. We're gonna be releasing P. Diddy, Hassan Minhaj. Everything is gonna be talked about, y'all. So check out Mess Magnets. And I was again a guest on 90 Day Fiance. I believe it was your ringer this time. So check out my 90 Day Fiance coverage. And for everything else I'm doing, just follow me on Twitter at funsize_04. Chappelle, how can the people find you?
Follow me on Twitter at Chappelle's_show. Check out Mari and I's coverage of rap shit on HBO Max. We're covering it on post show recaps. And so you can follow the Connect on post show recaps wherever you get your podcast and keep up with me and Mari talking about rap shit. We're going to try to talk about some movies and stuff soon. And it's going to be a good time. So, I think we're off of House of Villains coverage for the week. We're taking a hiatus from that. But you can also catch Rob and I talking about Suits every day on suitspodcast.com. Some Walking Dead coverage to come soon on post show recaps. I'm sure we just finished Fear the Walking Dead, so I'm here and there recording all the time. But follow me on Twitter and keep up with everything I got going on over there.
Perfect. Thank you everyone for listening again. Shout out to chat. As always, y'all have been we almost got 60 live today at one point. So thank you everyone. We appreciate you. Bye.